Throw it down, big man.
Welcome everybody back to the Throw It Down Big Fella podcast. I am Greg along with my running sidekick mate Darren. Darren, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. It's almost the weekend.
Man, thank goodness. The
It's the
longest week of my life.
Oh yeah, work wise, the news don't stop. The news does not stop.
Never.
So you guys, of course, last week we had our live stream of the NFL draft at Darren's place. Again, shout out my co-host for having us there. Had a great time chatting with some of our friends and colleagues at work and all that, your cousin. So we didn't really get a chance to break down the NFL draft and what we liked and what we disliked. So we're gonna get that opportunity now. We really just stayed really for the first half. First round. It was like maybe the halfway point. And we kind of stopped the live stream.
I think around the 18th, 19th pick we stopped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so let's just start overall because we saw the majority of the draft. I tried to. It was after rounds 3 through 7, you kind of
Yeah. Once you get to like 4, 5, it's just like, especially day 3. Day 3, you just watching it just to be watching.
Right. You just because you're just an NFL a nut, so you're just watching it just because. But the first round was shocking because the first 15 picks, there were no defensive players drafted. The first 15, all offense. And I thought to myself, this is like a Chiefs. We're afraid of the Chiefs. Let's try to outscore them. We got to get ready for the season ahead. Like, what did you think of that? The first 15 picks, all offense.
It was pretty wild to see. You would have thought that some of these people would have been off the board by then. First 3 picks, they were all. I think we had quarterbacks in the 6 quarterbacks got drafted in the first 12, 13 round picks.
Yeah, and I talked to your cousin. I was like, I thought maybe less than 5 quarterbacks, but it was 6 quarterbacks. Of course, we kind of knew. Of course, we knew Caleb Williams, number 1, Chicago. Let's start there. The ceiling for Chicago. What can they do? Can they be to the playoffs, Super Bowl? What's the ceiling there?
This is one of those. I think it's one of those situations where they're young. They're obviously going to have to take time to mesh. It's not going to be a Houston situation. I'll let you know right now. It's not going to be like a Houston type of overnight success. So it's going to take them a good minute. Plus, Houston, they play in an easier division, in my opinion. I feel like it's an easier division than where Chicago plays because, they got to deal with Green Bay. They got to deal with Detroit. And they got to deal with Minnesota. I believe that's the division. Correct me if I'm wrong.
In the AFC South?
No, I'm talking about Chicago.
Chicago, Green Bay, Detroit, and Minnesota. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So I feel like that division itself is harder than the AFC South. So it's gonna take some time for Chicago to see the results they're trying to put in. But hopefully it all goes well. They had I feel like they had a decent draft for the most part.
Yeah, they did. But they got so many. They got so much talent. Keenan Allen, DeAndre Swift.
They got they drafted the wide receiver from Washington.
Yeah, Rome. Yeah, he's good too. So Chicago's going to be up there. The division is so wide open. But they could be competitive in that division. With Green Bay, Jordan Love, and all of them. So interesting to see. Jaden McDaniels to Washington. I hope they got a good. The offensive line is still. I don't know. Sam Howell. Sam Howell got sacked so many times. He led the NFL in being sacked, the sack QB. So he has his work for McDaniels. Daniels.
I believe they addressed some of the O line in the draft. I think they did.
They drafted old line, I believe, in the second or third round.
I think the boy from Illinois.
Mhm.
Newton. I think his name is.
Yeah.
Uh, and so they addressed that as much as they could. I personally feel like Jaden Daniels is the best quarterback in this draft. Obviously, we're gonna have to wait and see how it actually plays out. But I feel like he was the most athletic. Obviously, the feel like his talent level is higher than a lot of the quarterbacks in this class.
Mhm.
Uh, Regarding like plug and play pro experience, it's gonna take some time. He's not a project like a Joe Milton or even like probably like a Penix. Um, he's not a project type quarterback. He's gonna be to the fullest, but he's gonna need some time to fully mold and fully shape to the Washington organization. But he got the weapons to do what he need to do, though, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, they spend money to get Austin Eckler from
Mm-hmm.
the Chargers down to Washington. They still have Terry McLaurin,
Dotson.
Samuels, Dotson. So they have the weapons there. Defensively, it's a question, of course, offensive line. I always say this: you can't go wrong getting offensive linemen.
No,
You
you can't.
can't. Like that's a safe betting. If you're gonna get a top three offensive linemen and your quarterback play, I know people want the quarterback. Some people need to like the Minnesota Vikings. They don't have a quarterback, so of course they get JJ McCarthy. I'm sorry. Is he ready? Do you feel like JJ is ready to?
I mean, do you think they needed a quarterback? Because don't who I thought
Yes,
they picked up somebody. They
Sam
didn't pick
Darnold.
up anybody.
Sam Darnold.
Sam.
Yeah.
Oh, then yeah, they needed a quarterback. But but and that's what I was getting at in the last pick about Jaden.
Mm-hmm.
JJ, he's that pro ready type of quarterback. Uh, he should be able to go in, learn that system. He's not going to be perfect, but he's going to learn that system probably within the first midway into the season,
Mm-hmm.
and then probably after midway into the season, he's going to have like this epiphany, and everybody's going to be like, "Holy mother of God! Look at JJ, what he's doing!" Blah 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 blah. Now, I mean, it depends on if he does start at the beginning of the season. I feel like personally, go ahead to give him the start, especially if he has a better training camp and preseason than
Darnold.
Darnold. Yeah, than Darnold. So
Yeah.
you just got to see about that.
It's his to take. The Patriots, of course, they got Drake May.
Right.
Uh, I mean, is he like Sam Darnold 2.0? I don't know. I mean, he's tall. He looks athletic. I don't see a lot of running. They showed his running plays on NFL Network, but you're gonna need some running because that offensive line and that team they
At
got.
this point, to be honest, I don't really put too much value in quarterbacks that can run. I feel like that's just the given nowadays.
Hmm.
Like you starting to see more and more. At first it was just this exactly, but now you're seeing it with a Bo Nix, with JJ. He'll go down. He'll go down the field a little bit. Like Drake. Who else? I mean, all started with Johnny. Johnny was the first really person like that that's actually toting that ball and stuff um in the
True.
collegiate level on that level. But
I hear you. I hear you. So we'll
he
see.
he you said what?
I hear you. I agree. You have to be able to just keep the game going. Like first, second, third down. If you need
He,
if it's not if for
my
reason not that
my
run.
My worry is he's going to be another Sam Howell, another didn't Mitch go there? Didn't another Mitchell Trubisky?
Mr. Trubisky.
So I mean, right now UNC don't really have the best track record regarding producing these quarterbacks.
That is true. That is
I
true.
mean, they almost have the same track record as Alabama.
That's that. Yeah. So shout out. Of course, none of the Memphis Tigers got drafted, but lo and behold, the Denver Broncos. He picked up two. Was it two or three? They
It
child
was
something.
two.
Blake
Uh,
Watson. Blake Watson.
okay.
He running back and Jalen Allen for the Denver Broncos.
Yeah.
So okay, Pitt did a little something, something. Also, Joe Skadix, he went to Jacksonville. They signed. They picked him up, and Jeffrey. I hope I'm saying his name right. Jeffrey Canton Akuru went to Miami. So
Mm.
he also got Jacob Lights from Denver. I think he got offensive lineman. So
Mm-hmm.
okay, y'all trying to give these folks second chances. You know, what was it, my boy Lynch? Y'all like
Stop it, man. Stop. See, the only reason why Denver's back into the
oh
Memphis program is because that front office not in there no more. That
yeah,
was that John Elway front office.
yeah. So I'm gonna let you vent about the Broncos. I'm taking Joe Nix first round. Shocked the whole room.
I mean,
Floor
I
is
could
yours.
I could vent for a little bit. During this podcast, guys, we are kind of grading these teams. The way we kind of agreed that no matter number of teams that you want to talk about that you want to grade, I kind of did a 3 and 3, three best, three least best, or what's the worst. And Denver is the three worst on my list.
Shocking.
They're not the worst. They're number three. They're
Mm,
number three. And I give them probably like a B minus, maybe a B, and that's maybe, but definitely a B minus. There's no way I'm drafting the quarterback in the first round, especially with the 12th pick. Um, I could have waited for maybe a
You could have got the Georgia tight end. What we were
uh
saying. What we were saying.
what's the boy's name? Jordan Travis. What's the
Mhm.
boy's name?
It's Travis from
Yeah,
Florida.
yeah. I could
Good
I
guy.
could I could have got him
Hmm.
on top of probably like another quarterback. And like people don't really just feel me whenever I say this, but I'd much rather have gotten a quote unquote veteran experienced quarterback for the cheap, cheap, cheap. And when I say for the cheap, 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 I mean like we getting him from the UFL. Cheap, cheap, cheap.
Hmm. I agree.
He's already experienced. Somebody like listen. I know AJ McCarron wouldn't mind a nice little $1 million, $2 million 1 year check.
Yeah, yeah, AJ. Yeah, that's a. I get your point. You don't have to pay.
Would
Basically,
you
you don't
would
have to
you
pay him. It's cheap.
would
It's
you
cheap.
would you rather have AJ McCarron the way he's playing right now in the UFL or Zach Wilson?
I'd rather have AJ. I'd rather have AJ.
That,
It just started with Bo Nix, like you said. They didn't need to get Bo Nix with that top heavy pick. He needed to be the Georgia tight end or
and
the
the
Dallas.
only reason why they made that pick is because they got scared
They got
because of
scared.
what Atlanta did.
Yeah, with Bo. Yeah, with the Michael Penn. Just how crazy was that trade, though? The fact that the Falcons got Penix and they just gave Kirk Cousins 180 million.
They're
Like,
my worst team. If we're, once again we're going back to the
mhm.
three worst teams in the draft.
That's the
Yeah,
worst.
that was the worst. Like, how do you sign Kirk Cousins to all this money, then you turn around and get Penix, who is like my age, if not probably like a year younger, 2 years younger.
You don't
That
like Penix? You don't think Penix could have? I don't know.
no, I'm not doubting his game or saying that he's not going to be successful. I'm just like by the time he actually gets on the field, that man going to be like 30, 32.
Do you think he's not going to start immediately? Like he's not started immediately. You don't
If
think so?
I'm paying this dude all this money, what you think I'm about to pay? Man, what?
They're looking at Matt. They're looking at Matt Ryan 2.0 because you remember they gave Matt Ryan the extension, and then he got hurt like maybe a year or two into it, and then that's when you got from last year. You got all the mess they had. Well,
Yeah,
because Matt Ryan left before
I
that, but
mean,
it was
I guess,
it
I
took a
guess,
year or two basically. It didn't take that long, you know. But
I guess I get it.
I,
Regarding that, I mean, still though, it's just weird. It's just I feel like
yeah,
you could have waited. You could have waited next year to get a quarterback. To be honest, and could have got probably a better quarterback than Penix,
yeah.
in
Shout
my
out,
opinion.
shout out the Falcons got Jace too, the running back from Alabama.
Oh yeah, and then they traded up to get like a defensive end.
In the round, what the fourth round? Oh, that the guy from Oregon,
No,
or
I'm talking
the
about Atlanta.
Washington, the
No,
Washington guy, his
no,
teammate.
no, he from Clemson.
Oh, Clemson. Oh, I can't say his name. Root.
Rook
Or
Ororo.
the defensive tackle from Clemson. They're pretty solid. Man, that's pretty
Yeah,
solid. I mean, I'm saying you're the worst one because of that Penix. I kind of.
yeah, and then it's just like it didn't make sense to trade up for him either. It's just I don't know. They were just doing stuff just to be doing stuff, and it didn't make sense with what they were doing.
I think that's the game. That's the thinking for like all these executives. It's like, what we have to do? What do we have to do to get our guy?
And you know how
Yeah.
I mean, their front office isn't as bad as Carolina's,
Right, right.
who I feel like who also didn't have such a great draft either. Because they end up okay, so you end up drafting the wide receiver from South Carolina,
hmm
which I feel like you could have got a better wide receiver at that moment. But you went with him, and then your next pick was the running back from Texas, Brooks,
Oh, I wish they would have
who
got. I
who's coming off of a knee injury.
Yeah, taking a wet white flag, yeah. I
It's
got you.
just like what are you doing? And then you get a decent pick out of Wallace,
Mhm.
who's the linebacker from Kentucky,
He's pretty good.
and that's cool. That's fine. I mean, because I feel like they got another linebacker that's about to hit free agency.
hmm
So that I mean that pick made sense, but your first two picks could have been so much better. And I
Yeah,
feel like for that Carolina organization, they can't afford to keep half-assing these free agencies and these draft picks. Like
yeah.
I don't know. I feel
I
like if there's one organization that fans for organization that I do feel for is Carolina, because they were really close for a Super Bowl with Cam Newton, and since then it hasn't been the same
It ain't the same.
at all.
Them teams that don't win the championship, the second place teams, the curse is there. Look at my Eagles. Look at Carolina. Not really necessarily you guys, because y'all lost and then y'all won. But
Right.
it's a curse if you don't win the Super Bowl. You get a little something's wrong with you for like a year or two, you know. So um, I agree with the Carolina thing. The Cowboys, their draft picks. Jerry Jones saying, "I got my guy." Okay, you got the tackle from Oklahoma. They're saying he's just like what's his name they got a year ago. The same exact thing. Like he had a lot of false starts. He gets penalized a lot. He's big. Not
Hmm.
taking that away from the guy's big, but I don't know. We'll see with Cowboys. You know they say that's his guy. That's Jerry Jones says his guy. I'll just talk about the Eagles. You know we got the cornerback. We got the Mitchell, the guy from Toledo. Um,
Lucky.
we got lucky. He got lucky getting him. I thought about the Arnold guy. I thought about the Alabama guy, and it's going to be a battle. Whose career is better between the Mitchell, the Toledo cornerback we got, and then Arnold from Alabama. He's going to be good with Detroit. He's going to be good. Just to help out with with our corners now with Darius Slay and Charlie CJ Gardner. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We got Cooper. We got I don't know, man. You know how I feel about white guys are safeties. I don't know with Cooper from I don't know.
Uh,
There's a stigma going on with white safeties, man. Like I don't know. Like, I hate it for him because he could have game. The boy could have game, but that stigma for the white safeties, hey, like it's there. It's there. Like
Lord,
so he's gonna have to fight
Lord,
that
Lord,
off
Lord.
during training camp and for his career. But Harris is Smith. So there is an example of Harrison.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know. And then of course the steal, we got the Clemson running back, Shipley. So
It wasn't bad.
Saquon.
I do feel like y'all didn't have a bad draft at all. I feel like y'all did pretty all right.
Quickly, my top three. I'm gonna go Tennessee Titans. I think they address a couple of needs with their first round pick with J.C. Latham, the offensive tackle for Alabama. I think it's no secret they need offensive linemen to protect Will Levis. So that was a no brainer for me. Texas, the round two, they got the Sweat defensive tackle from Texas. It was
Mm-hmm.
needed. They just needed the stuff they needed to help out Jeffrey Simmons in that defense for Tennessee. I mean, Tennessee could actually. I'm actually looking at Tennessee like they could be a surprise team. I mean, they did a lot of offseason moves, a lot of money spent to get Snead. I
Feel
don't
like
know.
it's. I feel like the Titans have been doing a lot of reaching and a lot of gambling.
Mm,
Uh,
yeah,
I their picks got potential to be very good picks, but they got potential to be some bad busts. So
yeah.
they're really playing with that boom and bust type of ordeal.
And Calvin Ridley's going to be under a microscope. The fact they gave him all that money, they didn't want to pay AJ Brown, but they gave it to Calvin Ridley, so he's going to be under a microscope. He had a good year. He had a good year last year, but now it's okay. You did this last year. You're going to do the same thing this year. So we'll see about that. Of course, I mentioned the Eagles. I think that was my top pick as well. Um, I honestly think your Broncos. I know you switched it. You said worse, but I think Bo Nix is going to actually start, and I think he's going to give you something to look forward to.
He has to. He has no choice. But yeah,
He's going to start and JJ Minnesota getting JJ as well. So it's interesting to see. Oh, the Raiders. Wow, the Raiders strike. I just think they just hit all the needs that they needed with getting the broadest
yeah,
tight end.
yeah.
I'm surprised he won top 10 pick. Really surprised. Like that's
Uh, and speaking of teams hitting what they need to hit, I didn't get to my top team. My
mhm.
team I feel like did the best in the draft. Uh, that'd be those Pittsburgh Steelers.
Getting all those offensive linemen, yeah.
Yeah, which they desperately need. And then
Yes.
they also got the wide receiver from Michigan, Roman Wilson. He's pretty straight. He's all right. So, man, Pittsburgh is coming.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
they coming. You might want to go ahead and put in your division winners to Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, woo. We'll get to that. We're gonna get to that during the summer. Our division. Who we think we're our wins
Hey,
and losses
hey,
prediction. I can't wait for that.
if you don't want to wait till the summertime, go ahead, just put that wager in. I'm just
Over
letting you guys know
Baltimore?
right
Over Baltimore and Cincinnati? I
now. I
don't know.
think Baltimore's going to finish second. I think it's going to be a very close 1-2 finish between Pittsburgh and Baltimore. But I do feel like Pittsburgh is going to finish just ahead of Baltimore. It may come down to how those last game of the season be like with the playoff scenarios.
Yeah.
They're going to make it where Pittsburgh and Baltimore had the last game. Was that week 18, week
Mm-hmm.
17?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those situations. Whoever wins this game is going to be your division winner. Whoever loses this game is going to be like the number one team in the wild card.
Interesting. I can all 4 teams get to the playoffs? Is that possible?
Uh,
It's
it
possible.
really depends on the Browns. It really depends on the Browns.
Doo Browns. My favorite. Doo Browns. You're right though. You're right. Deshaun Watson coming. You're right. I mean, they did so good with Joe Flacco. It was like and
Right.
Chubb, not Chubbs. The running back got knocked out. Nick Chubb.
Yeah, Nick Chubb's, yeah.
He's back, so they got your boy at Jared Judy.
Jerry Judy, man.
He's on a revenge tour.
Hey,
So
he could have this revenge story. He could mess around and, be like that comeback player of the year ordeal.
so yeah, we'll see about that. That's it's we're getting called the release this they released the schedule, I believe, in 2 weeks, I believe, or is it's soon.
It should be soon. I think it is in 2 weeks or next week. It's somewhere soon.
I believe so. That will wrap up this episode. Jam-packed episode, I must say.
All right.
Covered a lot. So of course, you guys, we will check back with you next week. Big boxing match with Canelo this weekend.
This Cinco de Mayo weekend. That's right. Canelo fighting his annual Cinco de Mayo matchup. He should be able to win that one. Hopefully, he doesn't.
Have you seen the press conference with him and Oscar De La Hoya? Woo! Jesus Christ!
I heard they exchange some words now.
Wow, he used to be on the Golden Boy record production. So, quickly, Ryan Garcia, man, you need to go home.
Man, that sucks. Because he already came into the fight overweight. I think he was overweight by like a pound or two. And then that came out too. It's just like, damn.
I need my money back. ESPN bet. I need my money back. I bet Devin Hanley. I need my money back. I need my money back.
I didn't even touch that fight because I was just there for entertainment purposes. I was like, I don't know who's gonna win this fight because I can see it going either way. To be honest, especially with me already knowing that he came into the fight overweight by a bit.
Yeah. I need my ESPN. I need my money back. I just need my money back. That's all I have. It's simple stuff, We'll talk more about it in depth next month. But the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight, oh my goodness, I'm gonna. It looking like I need to switch to Mike Tyson. It's kind of looking like I need to because
I'm so done with these gimmick fights, man. I'm so done with these fights.
Oh my goodness! Like
I swear, I'm not gonna watch any more type of payday gimmick fights. If this fight either has Paul winning or
Tyson winning,
no Tyson. If Tyson wins, all is well in the world. The universe is okay. If Tyson loses or these two tie and they have a draw, oh my god!
Oh boy,
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing any more payday gimmick fights anymore. Even I don't even buy them. I stream them.
It's free. It's on Netflix. This is free.
Oh, it is on Netflix.
Mm-hmm. This is free. That's why I said, like, prepare for everything and anything. Cool. That's all I'm saying. Like,
oh my gosh, yeah.
Take like 3 separate breaths. Bet for a draw. Bet for Tyson to knock Paul out, or bet that Paul wins on a decision. Those are the 3 options I would favor towards. Like.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see next month, that fight, July. So we'll keep that in mind. All right, you guys, that will do it for this episode. Like I said, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram, you guys. We got an Instagram page. Keep the reels going. We will keep the lights going. Keep follow us. We'll continue to give you more content for you guys. All right, then that will conclude for us. For Greg and for my co-host Darren, we'll see you guys next week. Until then, peace out.
Owskies.
Throw it down, big man.